Coming up tonight on YCN News, a major update from Monday's shooting case in Windsor, Vermont. The New Hampshire House overturns a veto on one beer-related bill. And Alice Peck Day Hospital makes outpatient care more efficient. For more news, weather, and sports, it's time for YCN News, your local view.
Now, your daily digest of the Dartmouth Lake Sunapee region, southern Vermont, and Windsor County. News, sports, weather, and all that is happening in our area. The news on YCN, your local view.
Good evening. It's Thursday, June 11th. I'm Laura James. Welcome to YCN News. We start with a story we've been following since earlier this week out of Windsor, Vermont. The person of interest sought for a shooting in Windsor Monday is reported dead from an apparent self-inflicted gunshot wound in Kansas. The suspect's description matches that of the deceased man, who apparently took his own life after a high-speed chase with police, reports the Valley News. Authorities have not yet confirmed the identity of the man, but the physical details and car match those of 27-year-old Jason Kendall, who killed Molly Helland outside her home in Windsor on Monday morning. Police had issued an arrest warrant for Kendall on second-degree murder charges the next day. States all across New England assisted in a three-day manhunt, which ended in Waukene, Kansas last night after a police chase that exceeded speeds of 100 miles per hour. Police say that Helland and Kendall's son is in the custody of Helland's parents. New details have emerged in this case after Vermont State Police unsealed an affidavit that says Helland was on her way to court for a restraining order against Kendall the day he killed her. Helen's family told authorities after her death that Kendall had recently held a gun to her head when she attempted to move out of his apartment and was headed to court on Monday morning. In other news out of Concord, New Hampshire, Governor Maggie Hassan has said today in a press release that she has high hopes for the state's economy. Hassan issued today's statement based on an analysis from the U.S. Commerce Department that reported New Hampshire's economic growth was 2.3% in 2014. This growth rate is more than the national rate and is tied with Massachusetts for the fastest rate in New England. In her statement, Hassan says that last year's growth rate is an encouraging sign for future growth and shows that bipartisan efforts to prioritize the people of New Hampshire have been successful. She then says that in order to continue this upward progress, party lines need to be disregarded and worked across, which will help the middle class grow, support innovation, and bring more young people to the state. And a new development, a story we brought you recently regarding the usage of minors on alcoholic beverage labels. On June 2nd, Governor Maggie Hassan vetoed House Bill 122, which would permit minors to appear on labels of alcoholic drinks, which was proposed by Republican House member Keith Murphy. Murphy proposed the bill so that his tavern could import and sell a Michigan beer that depicts a baby on the label. Hassan vetoed the bill, saying it would undermine the ongoing campaign against underage drinking. However, the New Hampshire House has fought back today and reached the two-thirds threshold to overrule the veto. Moving forward, the Liquor Commission would have the right to either approve or deny certain labels. The Senate has yet to vote on the override. Well, Alice Peck Day Memorial Hospital has plans to make outpatient care much more accessible and efficient. The hospital has decided to proceed with a $17 million development plan that creates a new outpatient clinic and finishes a variety of overall renovations that have been in progress since 2011. The new clinic would support medical services from around 50 providers and will employ around 150 support staff, that according to the Valley News. Hospital officials state the new development will centralize the hospital's outpatient services and create a swifter and more efficient experience for patients. The plans are slated to begin by the end of the year and are estimated to take about 12 months. Well, coming up on YCN News, high school graduations are in full swing. Crop cash is coming to Vermont farmers markets later this month, and an update on Sunapee baseball and softball. More news, sports, and the end of the week forecast when YCN News returns.
The YCN News continues in a moment.
Welcome back to YCN News. I'm Laura James. Well, high school graduations are upon us. Last night in Newport, New Hampshire, 64 seniors donned caps and gowns to receive their diplomas. Tonight, the Lebanon High School class of 2015 will mark its graduation, as will students from Bellows Falls Union High School in Vermont. Tomorrow night, graduations will be held in Hartford, Springfield, and Woodstock, Vermont. And in New Hampshire, seniors from Stevens High School in Claremont will bid classmates farewell as the class of 2015 receives its diplomas. Also graduating from high school in New Hampshire tomorrow night are students from Sunapee, Hanover, and Muskoma. On Saturday morning, Kearsarge Regional High School seniors will receive their diplomas, as will seniors from Fall Mountain High School in Langdon, New Hampshire. Well, a new program being rolled out at Vermont's 42 farmers markets will help some residents get even more value for their dollar. Beginning June 27th, an aptly named currency called Crop Cash can be used to buy produce while stretching one's grocery shopping dollars. Crop Cash, according to the Northeast Organic Farming Association of Vermont, will double the purchasing power of people aged 60 or over, or families with children who benefit from the Three Squares Vermont program. Important to remember, NOFA Vermont Marketing and Outreach Director Kim Mercer tells YCN News that Crop Cash is used in conjunction with electronic benefit cards as part of the federal Three Squares Vermont program. Crop Cash combined with the EBT card allows a Three Square Vermont participant to pick up to $20 worth of fresh produce. For instance, $10 will be deducted from the EBT card, yet with a Crop Cash coupon, you'll have worth of $20 to buy fruits and vegetables. Well, one Southern Vermont farmers market where Crop Cash coupons will be tested later this month is in Springfield. Springfield On the Move Executive Director Carol Lighthall tells YCN News that Crop Cash and EBT cards will be accepted at the town's farmers markets beginning Saturday, June 27th. Meanwhile, Lighthall says everyone's encouraged to attend farmers markets now in full swing in downtown Springfield, Vermont. Lighthall says after the long winter we had, it's time to enjoy the warm weather and be outdoors. The Springfield Farmers Market runs from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. in the heart of downtown Springfield on the square at People's Bank. When YCN News returns, we'll take a look at the Kearsarge Chamber of Commerce. Elizabeth Durazio sat down with Patrick Miller, and we'll have that interview coming up on YCN News.
The YCN News continues in a moment.
Welcome back to YCN News. I'm Mike Pizzone. Well, it's really starting to feel like summer out there with temperatures in the mid-80s, and it looks like we'll have some more nice days ahead for all those high school graduations. Skies will become partly cloudy this evening with temperatures dropping to a nice comfortable 54 degrees, but will climb right back up into the mid-80s tomorrow with mostly sunny skies and calmer winds than what we saw today. There's a slight chance of thunderstorms tomorrow evening after about 8, with temperatures falling to about 62 degrees. And things look good for the start of the weekend with partly sunny skies and a high of 81 during the day, before bottoming out at about 55 Saturday evening. Now let's take a look at our community calendar to see what's happening in the area. A giant yard and rummage sale will be held tomorrow from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. and Saturday from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Croydon Congregational Church in Croydon, New Hampshire. The sale is bigger than ever with proceeds to benefit the church. Friday Night Bingo will be held tomorrow beginning at 6:30 p.m. at KJ's Place on River Street in North Springfield, Vermont. Doors open at 5 and cost is $15 per package. The Windsor Farmers Market will be held Saturday from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. on the State Street Green in Windsor, Vermont. A large variety of local vendors will be on hand, and the market will be held rain or shine. Well, it was a historic day for Sunapee's baseball and softball programs yesterday, as both teams swung their way to big wins in the Division IV semifinals at Plymouth State University to clinch trips to the championship. First up was the fourth-ranked baseball team in its showdown with top-seeded Colebrook, and the Lakers wasted little time setting the tone, taking a 3-1 lead by the start of the third inning. The defending champs added a fourth run in the top of the third when Kira Lucas plated Will Austin on this hard-hit ball to left field, and made it a 6-2 game in the fourth on this RBI single off the bat of Cade Robinson and a well-executed double steal. Sunapee ace Ben Robinson kept Colebrook off the scoreboard in his next two at-bats, allowing his team to pull away to the tune of 4 more runs over the game's final 2 innings. Mike Platt upped his team's lead to 7-2 when this RBI single in the fifth plated Lucas, before Austin's ground out here in the top of the sixth scored Robinson to up the lead to 8-2. The Lakers scored their 9th run on a fielder's choice off the back of Nick Ducharme and its final run on a Colebrook error. Robinson induced the game's final out on a pop-out to third, sending the Lakers to their 4th title game in 5 years. I spoke with Robinson after the game, who touched on what it's like to play for such a successful program.
Well, it's amazing. This is my 3rd time now going to the championship, which is crazy to think that that's the norm here. We really have a great staff, great coaching every year, great kids. They know the expectation going in. We want to get the ship, and really that's all we're asking for. Everyone played with integrity, with heart, and I think that we really pushed through any difficulties, and we're heading right back to our ultimate goal.
I also spoke with Will Austin, who will likely get the start in Saturday's championship game against either Portsmouth Christian or Newmarket.
Well, we need to hit the ball first. We need to make the plays. I need to pitch strikes. I've been having trouble with that. Everyone just needs to pick everyone up. If someone makes a bad play, they need to pick each other up, stay with it, stay as a team, win as a team.
I then spoke to Sunapee coach Tom Frederick, who talked about what it takes to build such a successful program.
Our goal is to get to the championship, or actually our goal is to play better baseball every day. But these guys thought that maybe they had enough pitching to do it, and with their hitting ability in the beginning, you know, so long as the younger guys improved day in, day out, and they did. You know, you saw Andrew Hayes, Cade Robinson in the 2-hole, Will Austin now hitting in the 5-hole, put it good at bats, and Keir Lucas is a dangerous at bat. You know, he hit a hard line drive, which we ended up scoring a run. And all the guys, all the young guys have improved to their credit and has started to figure out certain things, what the expectations are, and just how to get better. And, you know, with this group of guys, it's enjoyable. Every year I have a good group of kids who play baseball well. And that's a credit to the youth leagues and middle school and, you know, their parents playing catch-up. That's, I mean, just doesn't happen when they get to the high school. It's because they put the time in somewhere else, too.
Immediately after the game, the top-ranked Sunapee softball team set out to earn its first trip to the finals since 1975, and Coach Bonnie Cruz's team did just that behind more clutch hitting from Lexi Hamilton and another strong outing in the circle by Katie Frederick. Hamilton accounted for all 3 of her team's runs with a first-inning home run, and Frederick took control from there, tossing 6 scoreless innings before surrendering a single run in the 7th. The Lakers tallied 4 more hits in the contest, with Caitlin Trebecca, Rachel Malanga, Meg Frederick, and Faith Larpenter each swinging their way on base. And in fitting fashion, it was Katie Frederick who recorded the game's final out on a hard-hit grounder back to the circle, prompting a much-deserved celebration with her teammates. I spoke with Frederick after the game, who admitted she was nervous to start things off, but those feelings quickly subsided once the game began.
There was a lot of nerves going into tonight, and I'm sure there's going to be a lot going into Saturday, I think. But we played well with nerves, and once we're out here, we're just doing our thing, and it's nice. It's so fun.
I also spoke with Hamilton, who talked about the significance of her first-inning homer.
You know, I knew there were runners on. I knew I had to get them home. This is a good team, good defensive team. I just wanted to make contact, send it out somewhere in the outfield, and get the runners in.
I then spoke to Sunapee coach Bonnie Cruz, who credited her team for turning months of hard work into a historic victory.
It's great to see the girls play the way we have prepared, and it's just nice to see that, you know, to have them come out here and play great defense like that and be competitive and hit the ball well, because, you know, we practice for this all season long, and we love the competition, and I just have an amazing team that likes to compete, and I feel like when it's close, they're even more competitive.
Both teams will play in their respective championship games on Saturday, with baseball beginning at 10 a.m. down in Manchester and softball playing at 4 back in Plymouth. The 4th-ranked Bells Falls baseball team also got things done in semifinal action yesterday, avenging a pair of regular season losses to top-ranked Mill River to clinch its first trip to the title game since 1999. Ethan Illingworth drove in what proved to be the game-winning run with an RBI single in the 5th inning, and his younger brother Brady drove in a pair. The Terriers will have a quick turnaround for the championship, as they'll have to travel to Burlington tomorrow to take on second-ranked Lamoille at 7 p.m. That does it for YCN Sports. I'm Mike Pizzone.
Thanks so much, Mike. Now tomorrow we'll have the conclusion of Springfield's softball game semifinal. That's coming up, so be tuned tomorrow night. Well, coming up right now, John O'Connor is finishing up his conversation with Alex Ray. We're finding out all about the family of Common Man restaurants when YCN News continues.
The YCN News continues in a moment.